Hi, and welcome to the Australian Steel Institute Steel Excellence Awards for 2020. Although times have been challenging, it's exciting to provide a program to celebrate excellence in design, fabrication and construction of projects for the Australian community. Firstly, I'd like to recognise the founding members of the Australian Steel Institute, BlueScope, InfraBuild and Stramit, whose support provides a platform for the Australian Steel Institute to service the steel industry in all of our endeavours. I would also like to thank the many sponsors of the Steel Excellence Awards program for 2020. As you would know, steel has many product attributes. It is strong, light, formable and reusable. Steel is used in many applications, and there are continued innovations in the development of new grades to provide even greater benefits and use. The Australian steel supply chain prides itself in providing compliant products and solutions to ensure projects meet their intended design life. The ASI has created compliance solutions to assist engineers to design with confidence, constructors to select certified fabricators to the Australian standards, and surety and shed designs meeting the Building Code of Australia. It is also important to note the high level of safety which is achieved utilising the local industry. With sustainability in the spotlight, the intelligent design of structures has never been so important. Good design provides for the utilisation of responsibly sourced materials, efficient fabrication and erection, delivering completed buildings that meet the high requirements for energy efficiency. The projects that have been submitted to this awards program have been outstanding. Please join me in celebrating brilliant steel structures enhancing our built environment.
Thanks, Mark. The Steel Excellence Awards provides for several categories for projects to be entered. These include buildings large projects, buildings small projects, steel-clad structures, engineering projects, and young designer, engineer or tradesperson. I would like to acknowledge the sponsors for this awards program. Our major sponsors, BlueScope and Australian Super. Our distributor sponsors are Southern Steel, Coil Steels, BlueScope Distribution, InfraBuild, Orcon Steel, Vulcan. To commence our awards, I welcome a message from our major sponsor, BlueScope.
For me, the Australian landscape is defined by its sense of space. And in that space, that vastness, there's a real feeling of freedom. So I'm looking for those places where I'm completely surrounded by the landscape. I'm inside of something. When that happens, it's an incredibly powerful feeling. When I'm photographing a landscape, I'm basically organising space with the camera, responding to the textures. So it's much the same when I'm working with architecture. I'm responding to how the form sits within its environment. All of that to create something that works. That's the journey.
Thanks, BlueScope. Okay, let's proceed to our first category.
Buildings, large projects. The shortlisted entries for the Buildings, large projects category are 260 Queen Street refurbishment. The refurbishment of the 260 Queen Street building involved a new level 4 roof, the upgrading of facades and entry to modern structural steel plates, angles and glass. Cutting-edge 3D scanning and shop detailing resources created the ability to place the steel within an existing concrete structure to within 1 millimetre. The new design elements highlight the walkway entry featuring the exposed structural steel and refined framework on the external windows. 300 George Street. This standout project forms part of the landmark $1 billion Brisbane Quarter multi-use development. The structural steel frame tower utilised 2,600 tonnes of structural steel and 50,000 square metres of bonddeck. The huge 100-tonne megatruss was engineered to provide the answer for lateral stability. As the tallest structural steel framed high-rise tower in Brisbane, it's a significant project in showcasing the benefits of structural steel framed towers to the Queensland market. Horizon Jalalan Rail Maintenance Facility. The facility is used by Horizon to maintain their fleet of rail carriages. Innovative design concepts calculated a 45% saving in structural steelwork, equating to approximately 300 tonnes. Where possible, transfer beams were used as a strut for the roof bracing system, rather than installing an additional strut directly above the transfer beam. 3D models ensured safety in construction via the visualisation of the frame in a virtual space. Brisbane International Cruise Terminal. The new cruise terminal has been designed to cater for the biggest cruise ships in the world and is a vital pillar of Queensland's tourism industry. The terminal is an elegantly designed structure with a covered walkway from the passenger drop-off area into a large open covered plaza. The building's brief was to minimise working at heights over water during the installation phase. The lightweight steel truss modular design was developed to enable spans to be fully built on ground, complete with louvers, roofing system and glass. Qantas Founders Museum, Airpark Roof. Given the harsh environment of Western Queensland, it was decided to provide coverage to preserve the vintage aircraft. The Airpark Roof covers an area of 8,000 square metres, half as big as the Sydney Cricket Ground, and used steel screw piles for foundations. The 400 tonnes of fabricated steelworks were erected around and directly over the existing Boeing 747 and 707. This impressive airpark roof is 26 metres high, 90 metres wide with a truss span of up to 78 metres. Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The success of the spectacular new $250 million stadium is underpinned by the strength, elegance and buildability of steel. The stadium's roofline looks deceptively simple due to its streamlined visual consistency, the result of complex, geometrically driven, cost-efficient design solutions honed using parametric tools. The steel-framed western stand, which houses facilities over 5 separate levels, was cleverly designed for rapid, unpropped erection, expediting the building program. Queensland State Netball Centre. Located within the Cusack campus, the centre includes 8 indoor courts, offices, gym, high-performance centre, food outlets and broadcast facilities. Also included is the Nissan Arena, boasting a 5,000 seat capacity. The usage requirements were instructive to the structural form, which was optimised for the large spans and clearances over the show courts. The spacing of the roof structure utilised the full capacity of the prefabricated roof framing and greatly improved the speed of construction. St Patrick's College Arts Building. The new contemporary performing arts, library and learning precinct features an 800-seat performing arts auditorium, a state-of-the-art library and 9 classrooms. The complex, irregular-shaped building has 2 distinct structural systems. The learning precinct consists of 2 levels of post-tensioned concrete slabs with a lightweight steel roof, and the auditorium, which is a 3-storey steel portal frame structure. The entire building is then wrapped in a steel-framed veil. Toowoomba Regional Council Principal Depot. The Principal Depot consists of 7 portal frame industrial buildings, as well as covered parking structures, walkways and material storage areas. These buildings incorporated approximately 1,000 square metres of suspended, steel-framed mezzanine floors. A unique aspect of this project was the variety of steel-framed buildings. These ranged from bays utilising portalised UB rafters with SHS columns to a 5,000 square metre warehouse with a 17 metre span gantry crane.
The judges awarded a high commendation in this category. The high commendation is awarded to
300 George Street.
Congratulations to 300 George Street, well done. And now for the winning project for buildings large projects for 2020.
Qantas Founders Museum, Air Park Roof.
I'm incredibly proud of the legacy of this project, protecting the proud heritage of the founders of Qantas. The 8,000 square metres of coverage that the roof provides significantly improves the weather protection of the aircraft displays from the heat and rain, together with the fine, efficient and elegant design developed by the design team. Steel was the right solution for this project from the outset. The ability to free span across 4 aircraft, including a Boeing 747 and a 707, was enhanced by the use of steel. Northrop worked particularly closely with architect NRA CoLab to enhance the functionality and geometry of the structure. Wappak Steel CAD and Bentley Steel were exceptional in their ability to assist in the coordination of fabrication through virtual workshops. The ability to prefabricate and assemble such a large structure in a somewhat remote location was enhanced through the use of steel. Steel's durability and strength have enhanced the column-free amphitheatre atmosphere beneath the canopy, enabling true appreciation of the air park. This award is fantastic recognition to the entire design and construction team, who can all hold their heads high about achieving a remarkable outcome in a remote location on an incredibly tight budget. Northrop are very proud to receive this award and thank the Australian Institute for their outstanding support of the steel and design industries.
Congratulations to Qantas Founders Museum, Air Park Roof. And now for a message from our other major sponsor, Australian Super.
It's Australian. To be there for one another through the ups and the downs. It's super. To know that Australia's largest super fund is investing for you like no other fund can. It's yours. Your money for your future. With Australian Super by your side. Now and for the long run. It's Australian. It's super. And it's yours.
I would like to thank Valmont Coatings as the event sponsor for the Queensland Northern Territory Awards for 2020.
When it comes to high-quality finishing, Valmont Coatings leads the way. We've made it easy for customers to see inside our operations and check the status of their orders with the Valmont Coatings Connector. Our plants track materials electronically, from the moment we receive your product to the moment it's ready for pickup, and every stage in between. The Valmont Coatings Connector means information is always available at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Search for a nearby facility, explore our coating capabilities, and request a pickup in real time, whether from your desktop or from your mobile. Control when and who receives updates and notifications by text, email, or both. Two-way communication elements help address order questions or changes. Respond, call, or learn more with just one click. The Valmont Coatings Connector updates changes immediately, so there are no delays or missed calls when processing your parts. Customer service is at the center of everything we do. Whether at your desk or on the go, the Valmont Coatings Connector works the way you do, keeping you connected to your product. Get started at www.valmontcc.com.
The next category is Building Small Projects. The shortlisted entries for the Building Small Projects category are Ambrose Tracy College, Francis Xavier Centre. Situated on a leafy ridgeline, the new structure consists of a full-size basketball court, sports store and change rooms. The building has a simple rectilinear form. A concrete colonnade surrounds the court with branching steel members, supporting a simple composite roof. Instead of a typical portal frame, the team developed an expressive and lightweight steel structure which redistributes the same mass of steel into an equally efficient but elegant framework. Flow state. A unique 3,000 square metre urban recycling project has blurred the distinctions between landscape and architecture, theatre and public space. The short construction period necessitated prefabricated frames and bolted connections. This generated an aesthetic of robust and expressive junctions revealing the raw structure veiled by a delicate skin of expanded mesh panels. The steel frame was retained in its galvanised form to minimise cost and express the material. Greenhouse. Inventively crafted to take an 1890s workers' cottage and turn it into a dwelling with appropriate amenity for the year 2020, steel has been integral in finding innovative solutions which respectfully contrast with the existing structure, providing a contemporary twist. The attic roof is reinforced with a steel gable, featuring a steel plate awning projecting outwards. The main staircase is constructed from 10mm weathering steel and allows for a unique horizontal cantilever to form the stairs mid-landing. Hercules Street Park. The playground's theme incorporated two unique steel parts, rarely used in traditional steel structures. These included modifying 3 shipping containers into an open, freestanding structure which would allow a jungle gym-style play equipment fit-out. In addition, 2 containers were stacked as one, with a truss-style gantry walkway to the upper layer. The second element was 2 imitation cyclone extraction cylinders, which were used to mimic real cyclone extraction cylinders installed in nearby industrial complexes. JCU Central Plaza. An extremely complex wave-shaped covered area has been realised for the residents of the Townsville Campus University. Hot-rolled and cold-formed steel created the primary structural skeleton of the structure, while some members were substituted for a composite fiberglass product for member suitability. As part of the detailing process, consideration was given to the assembly of the roof structure in 2 parts. So each part was fabricated and assembled and then lifted into situ. The result is visually stunning. St Joseph's College Stage 1. The single-storey steel-framed classroom buildings sit as lightweight clad pavilions in the landscape, referencing agricultural sheds and speak to the semi-rural language of the site. The design, detailing and construction methodology resulted in each building being framed, roofed and clad in a matter of days. Wide-span steel roofing has been utilised on the 3 larger 2-storey buildings as an architectural signifier, which denotes the front of the site and creates a defined architectural statement.
The judges awarded a high commendation in this category. The high commendation is awarded to
Flow state.
Congratulations, Flow State. Well done. And now for the winning project for Building Small Projects for 2020.
Ambrose Tracy College, Francis Xavier Centre.
I think the simple elegance of the structure, it's grounded with the concrete columns, the light steel frame structure wrapped in a translucent shell. I think it's simple, but it's elegant.
It's very light. It's a very beautiful light structure that was made possible by the choice of the structural system as opposed to being a portal frame, to being a strut at like a giant space frame. I dare say steel was the only material that we could have undertaken this particular building with. The concrete columns in the lower section are imperative to give us the bracing and to give you that platform to build off. But after that, the steel is the only way to go.
And it's the major aesthetic appeal of the building, really, expressing that structure.
Long-lasting, strong, simple. It's just lovely to have our whole team and that broader team recognised for that perseverance to sometimes get a thing built that easily could fall through the cracks.
And thanks to the Australian Steel Institute for awarding us this.
Congratulations to Ambrose Tracy College. And now for a message from our sponsor for the steel-clad structures for the Queensland Steel Excellence Awards 2020, Bondor.
Our next category is steel-clad structures. The shortlisted entries for the steel-clad structures category are Ambrose Tracy College, Francis Xavier Centre. Sustainable design is addressed through the use of the passive design principles of orientation, ventilation and natural sunlight. The external skirt wall cladding is set off the ground and stops just short of touching the roof. This allows for natural breezes to pass through the building and for the rising hot air to be naturally ventilated out. The roof is constructed with a composite panel. Intentionally low profile with a plain white soffit, it provides a uniform backdrop which expresses the steel roof structure. Horizon Jalalan Rail Maintenance Facility. This 7,700 square metre facility, located in the Mackay region and valued at $21.5 million, has been constructed for rail wagon maintenance. The primary building structure is steel portal framed with full height cladding around the perimeter. The entire structure contains around 250 tonnes of Australian structural steel sections, 100 tonnes of cold rolled purlins and girts, plus 55 tonnes of roof and wall sheeting. Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The stadium is an outstanding community asset for North Queensland, which exemplifies best practice engineering, architecture and sustainability. Central to the concept was an undulating cantilevered roof inspired by the local mountain ranges. The undulating roof, with the form of its main structural components inspired by the leaf of the emblematic pandanus tree, was to sweep over the main western stand, the south and east grandstands, and then to extend toward the city centre to form a welcoming and shaded entry. Queensland State Netball Centre. The roof form allowed for the large clear height and spans required over the show courts. The roof pitch was increased over the rear courts to reduce the building height to the rear of the building. This achieved the desired architectural form to this elevation and also limited the area of building facade. The prefabricated roof and wall units included the subframing, exterior cladding and internal linings, reducing construction time and minimising the amount of work required at heights. Red Hill Cinema. The project outcome was to rejuvenate the original 1920s Red Hill Cinema site back to a modern state-of-the-art local attraction. Considerable engineering skill was required to incorporate the existing structure into today's building requirements. The FlameGuard steel skimmed wall cladding with its mineral wool core was also used on the boundary walls, providing sound absorption qualities to meet the operational requirements of the cinema complex. These provided the perfect canvas for a range of exciting modern street art. Toowoomba Regional Council Principal Depot. The depot was required to replace TRC's current ageing facilities and will provide a safe working environment for the 500 staff based at the depot. The feature screening for this building really provided the architectural spark the client was aiming for. This involved heavy coordination throughout the design process and during construction between all members of the design and construction team. The architectural feature screens and building approach features were constructed entirely of Australian steel, providing the architectural spark and wow factor for the project. Willawong Distribution Centre. Completed in June 2020, this project provides cross-dock storage facilities for 20,000 pallet spaces under the roof and an additional 6,000 pallet spaces of temperature-controlled areas for food products. The facility, with its accompanying office and admin areas, was also built to exceed standard quality requirements for Aquis and FoodSafe accreditation. A high focus on sustainable design qualities included smart LED lighting and water capture facilities, making this facility a 5-star Green Star rating building.
The judges awarded a high commendation in this category. The high commendation is awarded to
Ambrose Tracy College, Francis Xavier Centre.
Congratulations to Ambrose Tracy College. And now for the winning project for steel clad structures for 2020.
Horizon, Jalalan Rail Maintenance Facility.
Being known for our expertise and value add in steel design, we were approached as our client believed the original concept was heavy and inefficient. Taking a step back and reviewing the original engineer's design, I'm proud to say that we managed to save 45% of the structural steelwork weight, which equated to around 560 tonnes of carbon emissions that we were directly responsible for reducing. One challenge was the heavy overhead gantry cranes, which put some serious loads on the portal frame structures. When considering the crane beams, we smartly used steel truss sections to reduce the crane beam span and adjacent portal structures to reduce the effective length of gantry crane beams. This means we could use UB sections rather than WB sections. This resulted in a more efficient and innovative design than you would see in a typical engineering approach. We were able to work in a very collaborative and streamlined approach. So all our reviews were completed using the 3D shot model, where we would comment within the model and the detailer could then easily implement any rectifications. This collaboration with ASI rigging resulted in approximately 5 to 6 weeks of time saved on this project. The operational constraints of the wagon maintenance facility required large open areas for specific equipment to move freely within the space. So using steel as a solution meant we were able to achieve all the end user operational demands by providing large clear spans and removing the need for many internal columns. I feel proud to be able to be recognised for the efficient value add we provided for our client AG Rigging. Overall, the project was a collaborative success due to the implementation of innovative engineering concepts and efficient documentation processes.
Congratulations to Horizon Jalalan Rail Maintenance Facility. Now we have a message from the sponsor of the engineering projects for 2020, Bisalloy Steels.
We move it with pride. We build it with you in mind. We protect what's most valuable. And we shield those who defend us. It's our business. Australian-made steel for over 40 years. Isalloy.
Our next category is engineering projects. The shortlisted entries for the engineering projects category are AIMS auger mining machine. The function of the auger is to mine coal on steeply dipping thick seams. Previous augers were able to mine on dips of approximately 16 degrees and 1.8 metre diameters. The AIMS auger has been designed to mine at up to 38 degrees and up to 2.5 metres. This auger is the most powerful, steepest dip, largest diameter thick seam auger ever built, and is therefore able to mine previously inaccessible coal resources at exceptionally low cost and high production. Horizon Jalalan Rail Maintenance Facility. The facility consists of a 13.7 metre high bay portal frame with two 5-ton cranes. A 20-ton crane is used to move full train carriages into the warehouse for maintenance. The facility also consists of two other 5-ton portal frame mounted cranes, with some of the runway beams spanning up to 12.5 metres. The entire structure contains 250 tonnes of structural steel, 100 tonnes of purlins and girts, plus 55 tonnes of roof and wall sheeting. Brisbane International Cruise Terminal. BIM modelling brought multiple coordination benefits to this project, from engineering design to fabrication and construction. Safe working methods statements were developed by riggers using the 3D model to ensure cranes and access equipment were positioned correctly. The lightweight steel truss modular walkway was developed to enable 12 spans to be fully built on the ground. Once complete, they were lifted into position with mobile cranes, reducing working at height by more than 90% than the original concrete floor design. JCU Central Plaza. 3D modelling was imperative to the project's success and accuracy. As part of the detailing process, consideration was given to the assembly of the roof structure in two parts on the ground, then lifted into place fully assembled. Hot rolled and cold formed steel created the primary structural skeleton, whilst some members were substituted for composite fiberglass for member suitability. The artwork was printed on panels prior to installing, requiring the precise and accurate placement of steel framing for the panels to reside. Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The structural design of the steel roof demanded an innovative digital design process, backed by imagination and meticulous attention to detail. Significant innovations were introduced throughout the design and geometric definition phase of the project. These crucial innovations met the challenge of delivering the curved, twisting horseshoe form within the challenging budget and time constraints. The true merit of the roof in the building was that it had been reduced to its simplest and most logical form, resulting in a remarkable and memorable structure. Queensland State Netball Centre. The design was developed to achieve the architectural form and also maximise the structural efficiency of the structural steel truss roof. The roof truss profile was developed to maximise the depth over the large span and loading requirements for the show court. This allowed the weight of the trusses to be optimised. The roof structure was future-proofed with an allowance for future loadings. This provided the building with flexibility for possible changes in usage over time or the installation of solar panels.
The judges awarded a high commendation in this category. The high commendation is awarded to
AIMS auger mining machine.
Congratulations to AIMS auger mining machine. Now, we have our winning project for engineering projects for 2020.
Brisbane International Cruise Terminal.
It was Steel Fabrication's pleasure to be part of the construction team building the iconic Brisbane International Cruise Terminal. Designed to cater for the biggest cruise ships in the world and give passengers a world-class experience. The cruise terminal structure is built using more than 600 tonne of structural steel and purlins, all supplied from local mills. Through collaboration with the builder and designers, the walkways were redesigned utilising a structural steel modular walkway system to minimise trades working at height, also enabling the walkways to commence construction prior to the wharf civil concrete works being complete. The complete walkway modules were then lifted into their final position with large mobile cranes, the heaviest lift, almost 50 tonnes, being executed from a barge. This methodology reduced more than 90% of the planned working at height hours than the original tendered. The project utilised exposed galvanised steel from when you arrive to the terminal, the entry, all the way through into the foyer where large exposed steel columns extend from floor to ceiling over 12 metres high, with glass viewing windows behind, creating a fantastic view over the Brisbane River. Steel Fabrications Australia are privileged to have won this award, as our team and partners were involved in yet another iconic Brisbane project that hundreds of thousands of people will enjoy on their arrival into Brisbane for the next 100 years and beyond. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our team and valued partners in a safe delivery of this project that everyone is proud of, and we appreciate the award from the Australian Steel Institute. Thank you.
Congratulations to Brisbane International Cruise Terminal. Well done.
Our next category is Young Designer Engineer Tradesperson Award. The finalists are Julian Chin from Tungsten Structures, Jacob Dickinson from Watkins Steel.
And now for the winner for Young Designer, Engineer and Tradesperson of the Year for 2020.
Julian Chin.
My dad was a builder, so I was exposed to the construction industry early on. During my final year at UQ, we were tasked with a car park design project. The problem solving, teamwork and structural design aspect of this project are what led me to pursue a career as a structural engineer. You also can't beat the pride you feel when you drive past one of the projects you have designed. My main advice to high school students would be, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you like working on a team, problem solving, and having influence on the built environment around you, then engineering will be the career path for you. The advantages of steel which come to mind are its flexibility in design and ability to create large, column-free internal spaces. Its high strength to weight ratio is also a benefit, meaning that we can save on footing volumes when comparing a steel frame floor to a concrete floor, for example. Over the next 5 to 10 years, I would like to focus on growing the project management aspect of my role and being able to lead my own team at Tungsten. I would like to become a chartered engineer and get my RPEQ certificate. Achieving this will further assist me in bringing about positive change in the projects I work on through sustainability and value add at the initial stages.
Congratulations, Julian Chin. Well done. Okay, so that wraps up the Queensland and Northern Territory Steel Excellence Awards for 2020. Congratulations to all the winners and the high commendations. And remember, the winning projects will be vying against the other states for national honours. Thank you for joining us.